Hi, everybody. It's the coach broadcasting today from Southern California at my flagship station, KHTS, one of the great radio stations in all of America on AM 1220. And that's my guy right there, George Strait. I'm going to talk about something I've been fascinated with for years, and I have to admit to you, I'm on LinkedIn, but I don't know anything about LinkedIn. And finally, I got this book in the mail called 21 Days to Success with LinkedIn, and we're going to have the author on here in a minute. But I'm excited because I want to, as a businessman, I'm always trying to improve my product, always trying to improve my presentation, always trying to improve. Most of you know I've been doing coaching, business coaching for years, and you can go to CoachTunick.com if you can find out who I am. But I want to dedicate today's show to a very special lady in my life. Her name is Jerry. She's not only gorgeous and beautiful and cute, but she's smart. And big shout out to you, girl. Thanks for being the person that you are in my life. So the show is dedicated to Jerry. The show is dedicated to all of you that want to do better in your life, all of you that want to learn, all of you that want to grow. Some of you are driving, some of you at home, some of you are sitting in your cubicles at work listening to my show on hometownstation.com. It's a great station. hometownstation.com. They also have a great app. Here, look, I've been on radio all over America on over 200 stations. Nobody has a better app than hometownstation.com and KHTS. Go to the App Store, just type in KHTS. It'll pop up 1220 AM. KHTS 1220 in the App Store. So the first segment, we're going to learn about LinkedIn, how to use LinkedIn. What is LinkedIn? Is LinkedIn have any value to those of us that own a business? Then take a little break, come back, and I'm going to talk about, I rarely do this, and I just got in the mood this week. I've been doing a lot of business coaching in the last couple of months, and the Thinking Room is the book that I wrote a couple of years ago. It's a new system for success. That's what it says on the front of the book. Here, I'll hold up the book because you can watch our show on YouTube. You can watch our show on YouTube, and the concept is when you start your life, you start your life as a baby, right, Justin? You start your life as a little infant, and everything is learned. Everything is learned. But where do we learn how to think? Where do we learn how to think? If you don't have exceptional parents who themselves spend time thinking, a lot of people say, Coach, when I listen to you, let's see. What are you saying? He has he has a co-author he wants on the show too? Is that what he's saying, Justin? Oh, we can put the co-author on. Sure. Yeah, that's fine. We'll put them both on. It's live radio. So say hi to everybody so everybody knows that you're here and you're live, Justin.
Hello.
So on live radio, we're going to have the author on, but the author has a co-author, so he wants to put the co-author on too. That's fine. So until we get the author on here in about a minute, the process of learning how to think is so critical. Now, some people will say, well, Coach, when I listen to you, I've read your book, it's really another form of meditation. Okay, if you want to say learning how to think properly, calling a timeout every day to think is for you meditation, I'm buying in. I'll buy what you have. I'll buy what you're selling. Because meditation is something I also do. And I also pray. I'm very spiritual. I'm not very religious, raised Catholic. But I'm very spiritual. I believe in God, and I pray to God. I'm not sure about what God's doing today. Things are I get into politics a little bit, so I don't know what God has in mind for us here in the next year or so with our political campaigns going on. But thinking. If you learn how to think for yourself and you don't react and you don't become a follower and you don't become part of the sheep herd and you don't become a reactor. Look, for most of my young life, certainly my teenage years, my early 20s, my 30s, my early 30s, I reacted. I would react to something somebody would say. I would make my decisions on maybe something I heard on the radio or the television. I didn't really start reading books till my mid to late 30s. Now I read 4 or 5 books every month. So in my early years, I was a reactor. Anyway, we're going to get back to, it's kind of a tease for the second segment of the show. Name of the book is The Thinking Room. You can buy it. Well, you can buy it on Amazon, or you can buy it from me. I'll give you a discount. Okay, so let's bring on the air there's 2 authors. The book is called 21 Days to Success with LinkedIn. I had a great meeting this morning with Ron. Ron, are you there?
I am here, and thanks for the invite. And of course, the co-author with the book is Ken Williams.
Hi, Ken. Hi, Ken. You can't hear me? All right. Can't hear me yet. He'll be on. All right. He can't hear me yet. We're working on it. What?
Hello?
Dr. Ron, I'm here. Can you hear me? Ron? Hello. Live radio here in Southern California. Can anybody hear me?
I can hear you now, Ron.
Okay, this is Ron, right?
It is.
Sue Kinnick.
Sue Kinnick. Very good.
I did that. Sue Kinnick. Sukenick. Look him up on LinkedIn.
Thank you. I love to connect.
Look him up on Facebook. So, I spent quality time with you this morning. I'm so excited that you took special time with me. I'm going to use LinkedIn. I'm going to learn LinkedIn. And I'm going to introduce you to other people that want to learn about LinkedIn. But so for Southern California, what, guys? What are you trying to say to me? We're on live radio. We're good. We can put Ken on, right? In a minute. So for the hundreds of thousands of people that might be listening, and Jerry, who's definitely listening, what is LinkedIn all about? I didn't realize LinkedIn started in 2004?
No, 2003. In fact, I picked up in 2003 that LinkedIn was coming on as a kind of a database, a professional database. It's not like Facebook where it's kind of like a social cocktail party, if you will. But I joined LinkedIn in May of 2004. And what you're looking at, Ron, is LinkedIn is the largest professional database in the world. You've got 400 million people on LinkedIn today.
That blows my mind. So I could, if I have the time and inclination, I literally could connect with 400 million people. That's crazy. Ken's joining us now. Ken Williams, welcome to Southern California.
Thank you very much, Ron.
Where are you located? It's 88 degrees here. Where are you? I'm not exaggerating, too. 88.
Don't rub it in, Ron. It's 26 degrees, okay? We're thinking of Valencia, California. But listen, I want to point out to the audience that they're bringing in about 67,000 people a month. They're stretching into 200 countries. You can translate your profile through 22 languages, all built in to this largest database in the world, that in the second quarter of 2015, Ron, 35 billion page views. So the question to the audience is, my God, are you linked in or are you linked out? Are you taking advantage of this? And by the way, 2.9 billion companies are listed on LinkedIn. So if I want to connect with anybody, anywhere, and if I need to do a little bit of research, I can find the people and I can find the companies.
I love that. We're talking to the authors, Ron Sudenik and Ken Williams, the authors. It's called 21 Days to Success with LinkedIn. Our show is videoed, so if you want to go to YouTube, you can see I'm holding up the book. There's the book. There's the book. I'm holding up the book. So you can buy the book where? Amazon?
You can go to Amazon. You can order it through any major bookstore. But, Amazon's the largest bookseller, or the biggest bookseller in the world, I guess. Amazon.com. And it's the second book in a series, Ron. You know what we've done is it also, by the way, Nick Roten, who it's really built around, if you spell his name backwards, his name forward is GNIKROWTEN. If you spell that backwards, it's networking. But he started out learning about networking in 21 days. then understood that LinkedIn was something that he should probably get involved with, and that came with the second book in the series. Ken, what's your take on that?
The thing I really like about how we put the book together is that it is a story. It's not a nonfiction type lecture style book. It's a story, and you're able to follow Nick as he goes through 21 days. He meets 11 real people who are just amazing users on LinkedIn, and learns the strategies and the tips. And then by the reader reading what Nick's experience is, it provides kind of a framework of how to develop your own connection strategy, how to get your profile set up, how to get connected with people, how to use groups, and those sorts of things.
Very clever the way you did. I have to congratulate you guys. I don't want to patronize you. I don't either one of you. If you want to send me a check for $50,000, I'm fine with that. But
well, the one thing we realized, Ron, it was our method of thinking. You see, you have to be before you do. You do to the extent of who you are, and you're who you are predominantly based on how you think. So what a natural to talk to the guy that wrote The Thinking Room, right?
That's right.
And that's what Nick's all about. He thinks a lot.
Yeah.
That's what he does in this whole book, and he gets other people thinking, or at least we think he does.
No, very clever. I love you guys already. You'll be back on the show many times. So let's get into the weeds a little bit. Let's get in the weeds. So
okay.
If you're starting a bit, now I have a mature business. I have a coaching business. I also have another business. But if you're starting a business, you definitely want a social media life. Why? Why do you want to get involved with Facebook or LinkedIn? Tell me, please.
Well, I'll give you my take on it, Ron. Look, the bottom line for success is being visible. You got to be seen. You've got to be heard. So, Facebook is kind of fun and kind of interesting, and Twitter is great. I've got so many thousands of followers. But, getting back to LinkedIn, it's the largest professional database in the world.
So, if you're looking for a job, let's go to the.
Okay.
I was thinking about after I talked to you this morning. I may bug you. I may call you 100 times in the next week or two, but
that'll work.
I love what you said to me about LinkedIn this morning about like Justin, my young producer. He wants to go and be a Chippendale dancer, and I'm trying to talk him out of it. But let's say if I could talk you into another career, Justin, go into LinkedIn, and what would he do? He would type in what? The automotive industry?
You mean if he wants to be a Chippendale dancer?
No, I'm trying to talk him out of it, but I'm trying to get him into selling cars. So he types in automotive, and boom, here comes up all the automotive executives, all the people that you would never meet on the street are right there in front of your eyes.
Oh, there's not even a question. But, the thing for Justin is he's got to understand why he's on LinkedIn. He's got to then understand that he's got to develop a connection strategy. So he can connect to people that are selling cars. Then he can get closer to understanding what it would take to do that. He could actually put in Chippendale dances, and he might find a couple, right? So that might help him. Sorry, Justin. And Ken, of course, you know a whole lot about job seekers. And go ahead. Tell him something. Say something about job seekers.
About job seekers. Well, the great thing about LinkedIn is it is a database. A lot of people think about it as a social networking tool like Facebook. It would kind of emerged around the same time. But it's a database, and the advantage to being able to be on LinkedIn is it gives you access to people that you wouldn't have ordinarily had access to because of geographic boundaries.
Right. It has their resumes on there. But let me go a little deeper in the weeds. So if I want to communicate on Facebook, I post something and it goes out to my 4,000 plus. I'm almost close to 5,000 people. If you can go to Facebook and put Coach Ron Tunick, please, I need to get to 5,000. But with LinkedIn, Ken, if that little box that sends a message, does that go to one person or does that go to my 500 followers on LinkedIn?
Are you talking about if you do a status update or something like that?
Well, no, I want to do a message today on LinkedIn. Does it only go to one person or does it go out to all 500?
It's available to everybody.
Really?
And then the advantage to it does. It's not something that it won't necessarily be emailed, but everyone who you're connected to in your network would have access to that if they were on LinkedIn. And so there's some strategy also on when you post messages. The other thing that's interesting is that if anybody likes or shares, like they might do on Facebook, something that you post on LinkedIn, whether it's a status update or an article or anything like that, it then becomes available to their network as well.
And all right. Well, don't hold back. Don't hold back. You were starting to close the curtains here on something. Is there one time a day? Is there a best time of day to post?
There are. The things that I've read have suggested that during the daytime hours, maybe late morning, early afternoon, when people tend to be on LinkedIn, will be a better time to post than if you were to do like at 2 in the morning. Those updates may get pushed down because there just isn't the volume of people on LinkedIn. Strategies that I've heard are post a couple times a day, and just a status update doesn't have to be anything more significant than that. But there was a situation that I ran across as we were writing the book, where I had a friend who posted a status update indicating that he had a friend who was looking for work, and all I did was I liked the status, which then made it available to my network, and then somebody that I was connected with who happened to be a recruiter in the same industry saw the message, and I was able to get those two people together, the job seeker and the recruiter, and all I did was I hit the like button on a status update. And so that's the way that posting messages or posting status updates or articles on LinkedIn can go beyond your own personal network.
Okay, so
and by the way, can I just mention something there, Ron? If you look at what LinkedIn tells us, what they did was they analyzed data, and they found 14 million users, and they basically came up and stated that the most clicks and shares happened to have been on a Tuesday between 10 and 11 o'clock. The main thing when you go back to that question that you asked is, look, you may have 5,000 people, 4,000 people, 500 people, but not everybody's following you. Not everybody's looking at it.
That hurts my feelings, I have to tell you. I'm very sensitive.
But they should. In fact, now that I know you, I'm going to be following you a little bit.
Can you listen to the last 20 minutes of the show? Because I'm going to be talking about the thinking room.
I will go back to it.
Do you have an iPhone or Droid?
I have an iPhone.
Okay, go to the App Store when we go to commercial break and download in the App Store. Just put in KHTS, best radio app in the country, and it'll
KHTS.
KHTS, and you can do it right now on the App Store while we're doing the live radio show here in Southern California. We're on KHTS, my flagship station here in Southern California. All over the country, people listen to our show on hometownstation.com. Hometownstation.com. And we're talking to two really new friends of the coach. They'll be on our show, The Business of Life, Ron Sudnick and Ken Williams. They wrote a book called 21 Days to Success with LinkedIn. All you need to remember, you're not going to remember the interview, ladies and gentlemen, but please remember, if you have a business or you want to start a business, LinkedIn is going to be very valuable because you're going to learn and connect with this network of executives and people at all levels in the business world. And if you need to meet a business coach, now you do business coaching too, don't you, Ron?
I do. I know Ken does as well.
Okay. And so you can find business coaches there. You can find graphic artists. Anything in the business world you can find on LinkedIn. My question to both of you is, give me an example. I'm a business coach. I want more clients. Ken or Ron, what would I was going to say tweet out tonight. What's the language you use for LinkedIn? Am I going to write a status? What am I doing, Ken? I'm not tweeting and I'm not Facebooking. What am I doing?
So you're doing status updates and you're doing posts.
Okay, so write a sentence for me right now. I want more business. How do I write that? And then I I hit that little thing like what's it called, Jeff? Don't laugh at me. You're gonna be fired here in about
Ron,
2 minutes.
Our suggestion is not to go after the sale, go after the relationship. Well, the question is, how do you go about going after a relationship? Well, first of all, you have to develop a connection strategy, right? So I got to figure out that I can maybe want to connect with somebody like you. I've got to reach out, and I've got to share some insights to why, in fact, I'm connecting.
Well, tell me how to do it. Tell me what would you send?
Go ahead. I'll let you do that. Tell them how to do it.
Well, and Ron started with this earlier in the interview that you need to be visible. So when you go onto LinkedIn, first of all, Coach Ron, you and I are not connected on LinkedIn. So
no, we need. I'm going to connect. I don't know how to connect you. How do I connect you? I type in under the search bar Ken Williams.
You can do that, but there are about 6 million Ken Williamses.
Yeah, great. So, how am I going to find you? Incidentally, ladies and gentlemen, he's serving 2 years to life, and he's in Juliet, but he's doing the radio show right out of his cell, which is great. How do I find you on LinkedIn? How do I separate you out from...
Let me tell you what I did, by the way. I put in your name, Ron Tunick.
Right.
When I found you, I went ahead and I sent you a connection request. And the connection request that I had sent to you, which you've not accepted yet, but I did send it to you, basically listed you as a colleague because we have things in common. Then what I had said is, Ron, what a treat.
We have nothing in common. Listen, we have nothing in common. Listen to how you talk. I love your accent. I have no accent. You've got a really nice. I could listen to you all day long. Really, you could put me to sleep at night with your wonderful voice. No, I'm saying that. No. Don't take that negative. You have, even Justin is thumbs up on your voice. You ought to be in radio. Get out of where you come to California. It's 88 degrees. Okay, I don't see where I'm on LinkedIn now. I don't see where you've, I'm on LinkedIn right now. I don't see where you've,
Well, what you can look is you can look on the very top of the masthead, if you will.
Yeah.
To the right, you'll see that people can send you messages.
Yeah, I see that.
You'll see that you have some connection requests. One of them should be from me.
I don't see it.
Through to you.
I'm on it. I don't see it. Maybe let's take a break, Justin. We'll come back. I want to keep these guys over for a couple of minutes. Can you guys come back in a couple of weeks? Because you're fun. You guys are fun.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're going to take a break. I'm going to hold these guys over. We're going to bring them back. You're listening to The Coach on the Business Life, KHTS AM 1220, all over Southern California. Yes, I'm going to get to the book, but I want to finish off my wonderful interview. The title of their book, if you're driving, just remember, 21 Days to Success with LinkedIn. 21 Days to Success. We'll be right back.